Hello, everybody. This is Victor here from Trend Following Trading for Beginners, and here's my weekly update on my sample trading portfolio coming up next. Hello, everybody. Welcome back for my another episode. Basically, it's unfortunate I was a bit not feeling too well over the weekend, so didn't catch up on the podcast. So I'm sorry about that. But it has been quite a funny week last week with the Dow Jones going up and down. So continuation of this trying to find his hair, where it's about actually continue to go up or continue to go down. Dow Jones basically up, a couple of 100 points and down, a couple of 100 points at a time. And I think on Wednesday it got spooked a bit because there's basically a lot of Bitcoin going down and so forth, and then more worries about inflation, those kind of stuff. And gold went down quite a lot as well, but it recovers, just same as Dow Jones, and then continue recovery. Similar things to just like basically with gold itself. So these two seems to be going hand in hand. And obviously, there's a lot of talks about Bitcoin. Have broken down quite a bit. And Musk is choosing last week to say he's selling his Bitcoins, or it's not longer. I think the week before was saying Tesla no longer accept Bitcoin as payment for Tesla car. And also last Tuesday, China's continuation to say the Chinese government not allowing its financial institution and so forth to not allowed to offer Bitcoin's financial services or use as payment or not. But the funny thing is so far, I mean, China has been saying that for quite some time. It's 2-3 times last year as well, and the year before, and it's all the time it's talking about big financial institutions, not for individual people owning it. They don't mind you mining it, but they just don't want you to use it as a payment service. Obviously, the Chinese government want to have its own digital currency and doesn't really want Bitcoin to compete with it. But the other way, looking at it, is also it left a backdoor for people, retail people, basically retail investors, to buy and sell Bitcoin. Didn't stop them, just the institution not allowed to hold them or offers any kind of services that way. So, but it's still a bit of a drag for Bitcoin, and just continue to tumble. I think it went down to like below 40,000 over the weekend. It actually went down to 34,000ish or something, and it has been quite a downfall. It has been more or less like 50%. It was like 65,000 about a month or so ago, and then suddenly all gone down. And Elon Musk doesn't help either. And the other thing I think people need to watch out for is ARRK, Cathie Wood's stuff, which I talked about before, the ETF. Yes, if you look at Cathie's ARK ETFs and against with cross-check that against Elon Musk, and you look at his Tesla share price, and you actually see they more or less go hand in hand. So I presume all this is because ARK is a big holder of the Tesla shares. So when Tesla actually gone down, ARK basically gone down quite a bit as well. The other thing I talked about a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or so ago, is ARK is more like an open book. It's transparency that people see what type of things Cathie has been buying for ARK ETF. Unfortunately, everybody knows what is in there, and a lot of the shares are quite illiquid. And if the ARK price continue to go down, ETF go down, people would the investor exit the door. But I don't think it's able to sell whatever investment it has inside the funds to get the cash out. So it basically just has become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I think ARK is similar, not just tracking Elon Musk, Tesla, but I think it will go down much further because it's illiquid investment. We just have to wait and see, but it's just a big red flag to me. But anyway, the main thing I want to talk about last week is really gold investment, and I think on Thursday and Friday it gone above the 200 days moving average now, and obviously previously it was done a W bottom, and it's above the 280 line, which is my short-term system, and essentially now with the it's above 50 and 200-day moving average as well. So long-term, it's moving up. So it's quite a few things that is showing in favor of gold, and but it seems to be having a big fight from 1800 to 1900. Every 20-30 points, there seems to be quite a bit of a pushback. They're likely trying to break above, of course, 1900. But when the gold price go 1890, it all seems to be having a big pushback, 2-3 times now. But it's also trying to the market try to force it down to 1840 area, but it failed. It couldn't really stay there for long and then come back up again and finish the day more or less around 1860, that kind of area. And so it's fluctuated between 1880 to 1845, 1850 areas. So between that 30, 40 or even $50, just continuation. We just have to wait and see, but it feels like gold is quietly very strong in the current. People try to sell it down, but it's been pushed back up, but it just couldn't break above the 1900 mark. So we just have to see who will be have the strongest hand, the bear or the bull. But as far as I'm concerned, which I talked about last week already, inflation is definitely coming, and no matter what you might think, we all see the prices of food and services or buying takeouts, everything all gone up already, and also the petrol and gas and so forth. So inflation is coming, either you like it or not. I think maybe a lot more in US, but UK here I can see that happening in my local shopping places. And so I think gold definitely will be a good hedge for inflation, and they just continue to that's my thesis anyway, at least for this year. But I think the other thing also keep an eye on is the US dollar index. I think for if Joe Biden have his way to basically pass that 2.3 or 3 trillions of infrastructure budget to do a lot more infrastructure stuff in America, one have to wonder who is going to pay for this. It's already U.S. have a trade war with China. China used to be the biggest buyer, and China basically is not going to fund it. Will it be American Fed, U.S. Fed just write out more blank checks to fund itself? Then if that's the case, it's really going to force the U.S. dollars worth going down. So I just don't like it, but it could well be. I can smell quite a bit of U.S. dollar might going to smoke a bit. Basically, just too many dollars flying around. So of course pushes the U.S. dollars index to go lower. But at the moment, still around about 90 mark. And if that breaks, I think it's have a couple of times tried last week and continue this week as well. Try to go below 90, but couldn't really go far. It's about 89, 50 areas and bounce back up again. So we just have to wait and see how things are. But if Joe Biden got his way, then I think there's a good chance that the U.S. dollar index is going to dive. Because just far too much money coming out, not just to cover the COVID-19 problems, but also we start the economy. U.S. government just got to do the same thing, just like back in 2007, 2008, to just put more money into the market. But unfortunately, already pumped so much money into the market that it might not be having the necessary pump to the economy and make things go up as fast as it wants. But we just have to wait and see how things are. But on the other hand, I think definitely that's a good thing for gold as well. Same thing for silver. I think that's another thing we all need to watch out for, the silver price. The graph-wise seems to be better, chart-wise, than chart formation seems to be better in gold. But obviously, silver is always a bit lagging behind gold progress. And if you see actually silver moving up and fast, the rate of movement or increase faster than or percentage-wise faster than gold, then watch out, because that might be gold will be the last leg. You have done that before in 2007, 2008. So just wait and see. But I think within this year, both gold and silver will go up quite a bit. I'm sure gold probably make new high. I'm not sure about silver. Still couldn't break above the $30 marks. If you had to make new highs, then to 2010, 2011, you had to go above the $50 mark. Who knows? He might do that this year, but we just have to wait and see how things goes. But as far as I can see here, all signs from the market is telling us gold is definitely the one. And the other thing, obviously, is because of the US dollar index, I think it's going to get weaker over the year. Crude oil, I said it before, I say it again, don't leave your eyes away from crude oil, track it, or anything rated against US dollars. Most of it probably will go up simply because US dollar index going down. But we just have to wait and see. But the other thing also is Dow Jones recovery sort of continued today. It's a Monday now, 24th of May. I think it got up in 250 points. So it's very close, gone back up to 34,000, that area. Try to, maybe another go at 35,000. Last time we failed. Who knows? But we just have to wait and see. This sell in May and go away, that kind of thinking seems to be all out the window this year. Well, basically, people have nowhere to go and stay at the stock market and trade from home or work from home, that kind of thing. So it may not be that bad this year over the summer, rather than everybody going on holiday. Probably still be the market going up. But there's just a lot of underlying trends that's moving around. I think it could be quite a dramatic turn things. Things turn out over the coming months. We just have to wait and see. But I'm definitely a big bull on gold, and hopefully you can make some money out of this. But I think within the next 6 months, we could see quite a bit of move or one way or another, because really I'm waiting to see how Joe Biden's get his 2.3 trillion infrastructure investment proposal going through the houses. It's actually gone through the Senate and everything else. Then we have a big tick on the US dollar, probably index going weaker, and get ready for more gold price move. Okay, let's have a look of my portfolio coming up. Okay, first off the bat is Apple. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is now neutral. Next is Amazon. Short term is sell, medium is neutral. Now long term is also changed to sell now from neutral last week. So it's a bit of movement over time, but we just wait and see how Apple and Amazon going. Next is Australian dollar against US dollar. Short term is a buy, medium term is neutral, long term is a buy. Not much changes here. The US dollar index, I said earlier, is gone below 90 mark last week, but didn't go down too much. There's some sort of reaction with the Australian dollar against US dollar. It tried to go above the 78 mark, but didn't, and it came back down again to 750. So just have to wait and see how things might be. Next is Brent crude. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is a buy. Same thing for WTI. Short term is a sell, medium is neutral, long term is a buy. So last week there were some hiccups. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago we have the Palestinians and Israelis war, so to speak, a bit of outbreaks of violence over there, and now they have a temporary ceasefire, and that pushes the crude oil up last couple of weeks, and then last week basically come back down again. But overall, I still think because the US dollars, personally, I do feel it's going to weaken, and the chart seems to show that way. And I think the Brent crude move might be slowing just like before, but it's still moving up. So watch your space there. Next is DAX and Europe. Short term is buy, mid term is neutral, long term is a buy. Similarly, Dow Jones is doing the same thing. Short term is a buy, mid term is neutral, long term is a buy. So I said before, Dow Jones seems to be trying to find its feet. It's been fluctuating up and down. I'm not quite sure where it's heading, but I might try and have another go at 35,000 mark. But if that failed to, then God knows what's happening. But also because now it's near the end of the month, I think the options changing time and the future changing date. Probably the market participant want to try to push that to a higher value, and then before come back down a bit again or something. We'll just wait and see. So this week could be quite a bit of volatility going up in Dow Jones. Just have to wait and let the market tell us where to go. Next is FTSE 100. Short term is a sell, mid term is buy, long term is a buy. Not much changes over here. Obviously, with the COVID-19 restrictions seems to ease down a bit, but yeah, a lot of people went out shopping. But as far as I can find from internet and all the news outlet, the number of people going out, it was a little bit surged, but then not as much as people initially thought. A lot of families still stay at home, worry about vaccination and then killing COVID-19. So definitely a surge of more business for shops and restaurants and in general, but not in the volume that people was expecting. Next is gold. Short term is a buy, medium term is a buy, long term is now also a buy. First, slightly different from last week. Long term it changed, as I said, from neutral to buy because of the price is above 200 days and 50-day moving average. So let's just have to see what happened to gold. For gold to continue this way, I think minimum it has to. It may still try to have a goal for the 1900, but I think it will have to come back down a little bit and retest the 200-day moving average, which is around 1850, 1845 area. What it was trying to test last week or so, last couple of days as well. So we just have to wait and see how things are. But so long as 1800 holds, I personally think gold will just continue to go up. But if U.S. dollar index actually go down like I expected, gold will probably run and just shoot up very, very quickly. So watch your space. Next is Hang Seng Index. Short term is a buy, medium term is neutral, long term is also neutral. This seems to follow a bit of lead way with Dow Jones just following it up short term wise, gone up a little bit. So we just wait and see how things go. But obviously, Hong Kong Index is a little like a proxy play for China. Who knows how things might turn over there, but definitely worth I watch out because COVID-19 seems to affect Europe more than Asia. Asia seems to recover better, and probably there would be just two worlds. One world in Europe, the Western world. Very unnerved by the COVID-19 recovery. Is very patchy, but Asia seems to be going ahead slowly, yes, but seems to be moving above slow properly. So we just have to wait and see how things might turn out. Next is Nasdaq. Short term is a buy, medium term is neutral, long term is also neutral. So it's a bit of recovery there, with similar to Dow Jones, just gone up for short term anyway. But I still think Nasdaq. The glory days of last year during the COVID-19 lockdown, the technology shares seem to have gone up a lot. But just like ARK ETF, like I said earlier in the podcast, is how it's basically it won't have another 700 points increase, not even 100% or 50% increase. I personally think that this year, if it increase at all, it probably quite slow because basically just a big sprint last year, and if the market doesn't really get a lot of what you call economy showing the signs of recovery better than expected, I think Nasdaq probably will have to come down a bit more, just similar to Dow Jones. But we just have to wait and see what they say. But trend falling wise, Nasdaq prices have been recovering a bit, so just wait and see how things go. Next is Nikkei. Short term is a sell. Medium and long term is still neutral. So I said a couple of weeks ago already, Nikkei previously was a leading indicator. Seems to have, wherever it goes, Dow Jones seems to follow. Last time, it's the same thing's going to happen again. Nikkei come down already, but Dow Jones seems to be trying to find, still staying quite high. Who knows? But we just always obviously in Japan they still try to hold the Olympic, but with the COVID-19 issue, second wave or third wave, however one you want to look at it, I'm not quite sure will help Japanese economy at all, and Nikkei seems to be showing that in the chart. So just wait and see what happens next. Next is silver, similar to gold. Short term is a buy, medium term is neutral, long term is a buy. Chart wise, gold seems to be last week seems to be better than silver, but just have to wait and see. Don't leave your eyes away from silver. I think both silver and gold will go later this year. Just have a look. Next is US dollar against Chinese yuan. Short term is a buy, medium is long term is a sell. So yeah, U.S. dollar index seems to recover a little bit against Chinese dollar anyway. But I think the Chinese dollar yuan strength is just going to continue, especially US dollars going to weaken. We just have to wait and see here. There could be a long, and a big play here for the currency side. Next is US dollar again, Japanese yen. Short term is a buy, medium and long term is neutral. US dollar, well, against Japanese yen, it seems to have gone back up to 109 area, but then it fall back down now 108 something. But it's just playing along with the 109 area. Just to see, if it continue to move higher or lower, we just have to, won't know until the market show its hand. But this is another indicator to show us. Basically, it's a safe haven play. If the stock market does turn, and then you simply see a stronger yen coming through. But watch out on that one. Next is British pound against Japanese yen. Short term, medium term, long term is a buy. Same as British pound against US dollar. Short, medium term, long term is a buy. So this is continue moving up. Obviously, the COVID restrictions helping. US dollars weakening is also helping on the side. But we just have to wait and see. With people in UK now talking about going away in Europe for some holidays. There, some countries, even though still have a bit of COVID restriction, allowing UK travelers, tourists to go over. Same thing when coming over from Europe, some countries into UK as well. So hopefully, this seems to give a bit of optimism to British pounds, and is helping it moving up. But I think the bigger drive is the US dollar. We have to wait and see if the US dollar is weakening as expected. Later this year, you should see quite a lot of movement. Euros against US dollar, or British pound against US dollars will really shoot up. So watch out. Next is Bitcoin. Short term is a sell, medium is also a sell. Long term is neutral at the moment. I said before, Bitcoin seems to have continued to go down, and nothing much we can do about it. And a lot of talks of some of those money in Bitcoin actually went into gold. Don't know if it's true or not, but all this big movement, people has been saying, how much it moves so fast, so much. But trend following already tracking it, and it's already turned. I mean, my short-term system already tell you to get short on Bitcoin. Back in late about a month ago, late in April, when it's still about 45,000 ish area. So we just wait and see how things will go out next. But if the money is actually go from Bitcoin into gold, then I think gold probably go a lot more. Way to go yet, but we just have to wait and see. That's just another good indicator as far as I'm concerned. Next is iShare 20 TLT ETF. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is also a sell. Effectively, yeah. So the bond price just continue to go down, and it could be an increase in the bond yields as well. It's gone back up to trying to break above 1.7 for 10 years yield. It seems to fail a little bit, but still hovering around 1.6. So we just have to wait and see how things are. But from TLT is telling me bond price probably continue to fall a bit, and therefore the yield will continue to go up. Next is Tesla. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is also sell. Personally, just like I said before, Tesla seems to be chart wise not doing pretty well. And as far as trend following concerned, it's a sell. So just stay on the short side on this one. Next is Australian Index XJO. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is a buy. So this one, a bit of mixed signals. It obviously biggest trading partner is China with Australia. Having a spar with each other doesn't help. But on the other hand, you have the US dollar index sort of weakening against or a lot of other currencies. But the stock market, as far as I'm concerned, in Australia seems to be just going sideways at the moment. It's around the 70,000 mark, 70,100. Just couldn't make up its mind. Actually, need to go up or come down, and the currency is doing similar things, so index is going sideways. So just have to wait it out. Last but not least is Alibaba. Short term is a sell, medium term is neutral, long term is also a sell. Now, yeah, there's a lot of people, foreign investors are looking into Alibaba, but trend wise, it's still continue to sell. Like I said before, I believe Alibaba is strong, but I think in China, Alibaba has always been used as a showcase for the Chinese government to say you don't listen to the government directive. No matter how big you are, how fantastic you might be, how much you might help the Chinese government or Chinese economy, you still get slapped down with primitive action by the Chinese government. So it's basically something being made an example of, so to speak. So personally, I feel Alibaba fundamentally is very strong, but technical wise and trend following wise is going down. So like I said before, don't argue with the tape. If the trend following system say go down, you just have to trust it. Just continue to sell. If that's what the system say, don't. Even though I have some maybe biased view on fundamentals, but I always trust my trend following system because they have saved me quite a lot of times. And we just have to. Personally, I will just continue to listen to it. Remember, I'm here to make money. My system has been proven to me before to be profitable, and I will just continue to follow either. So second thing, that's things about trend following is sometimes your system is telling you totally different things from what you think or from your biases, and which one you want to follow. You want to make money or you want to be right? For me, I want to make money. It'd be nice to be right too, so my biases or my ego get a bit of high, so to speak, but it's my pocketbook that I want at the end of the day. So I will just follow my system, and that's what trend following essence 101 for you. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next week, and hope to you keep safe, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye for now.